All right, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahawashi Ba'ashem, Rechat Kodash. A double honors to the apostles, elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity. All right, remember he was hated. All right, remember he was hated. Okay, Yahawashi didn't create this pseudo character. All right, and he didn't create this cult of personality stuck to the script. Okay, and for those reasons, he was hated. Okay, and I guess with this lesson, I'm just trying to point to his character. You know, hell, the scriptures going, prophesy on how his character was going to be. All right, and he was that. He was exactly what the scriptures said he would be. All right, he didn't go outside of character, so to speak. All right, which we see a lot of individuals doing. Okay, we're seeing a lot of individuals not sticking to the script. Saying things on a whim. Just saying things. Because they're puffed up, because they have the knowledge, or whatever. And that's just not what we're supposed to be doing. All right, we're supposed to take after the character, the image of Yahawashi. Okay, and this is his image. I'm gonna go into Deuteronomy 18 and 18 really quick, and I just wanted to point out some very simple points. Very simple. All right. And it says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee. All right. So he was like unto Moses, right? Okay. He was just as profound, all right, if not more. Okay. It says, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. All right. So he didn't speak outside of what he didn't speak of his own. And the scriptures tell you that. Okay. And we're not to speak of our own. Okay. We're not to speak of our own. You got individuals out here who are making this ministry about them. Okay. And what they feel in their heart, rather than really having discernment on what the Spirit is saying and how the Spirit is really, truly moving. All right. To really understand, we have to understand Yahawashi's purpose, what he was put here on earth for. All right. What he was against, what he didn't like, what he did like, what he said. All right. What spirit he came in. All right. And we're getting that right here. All right. Because this is a foreshadowing of who he was. Okay. And Lord willing, this makes sense. Lord willing, this is edifying. Okay. It says, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Okay. So the Lord is going to, if you don't speak accordingly, all right, or Salaki, if you don't hearken unto the words, all right, the Lord is going to require it. Okay. It says, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And we're seeing that. We're seeing individuals that know they're Israelites call on Christ. They're consistently saying Christ. And we know the name is Yahawashi. We know he didn't speak Greek. All right. We know he didn't speak Latin. Okay. We know these are things that we do know. Okay. Simple things that we do know. All right. All right. And then you have individuals who also are speaking outside of what's being commanded. All right. The truth is that we're supposed to be completely against this system. All right. And in no way, shape, or form are we supposed to, take sides with what's going on in this world. And you have individuals who are inadvertently doing that, Okay. They don't speak on certain things. And Yahawashi wasn't like that. Okay. His whole being, his whole character was against the powers that be. Okay, he was a threat to the powers that be. Hell, even Herod knew that. That's why he tried to eliminate Yahawashi, but he couldn't. All right, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh. All right, Bashem Yahawashi. Okay. So again, it says, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. So you got people talking about, death in the kingdom. All right, which really, really that's not a light thing, though Jake take it lightly, which shows that they don't have the fear of the Lord. Okay. You got individuals that's breaking down the RFID chip, or the mark of the MOTB, the mark of the beast, as something that it's not. They're saying it's an embargo, it's Christianity. All right. And they're pretty much, they're, in a sense, they're resting judgment when it comes to America. All right. When it comes to Great Babylon and its destruction. All right. They don't speak on touchy issues, important issues like the MOTB. All right. And they deflect. Okay. So let's continue, Salakia. All right. Isaiah 11. Right. And again, this is very simple. Isaiah 11. I'm going to just jump to 2. Okay. Because this is speaking on Yahawashi. Right. Well, let me go ahead and read it all. It says, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. All right. And it's really referring to Yahawashi. Okay. It says, and the spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of fear, and of the fear of the Lord Yahweh. All right. That's why he didn't speak anything outside of what he was told through the spirit. Okay. He didn't speak anything outside of what Yahweh already planned for him to say. All right. And we got a lot of people speaking against the spirit of Yahweh. All right. We got individuals saying, the individual at One Body in a Lie, he said, don't waste your life waiting on Yahawashi. Why? Because he's inadvertently saying that live your life in this corrupt society. Don't waste your time on waiting on the Lord. All right. And that's profoundly mad right there. That statement alone. Okay. Because again, individuals like that, as the scriptures say, they count slackness. You see, they count slackness on the Messiah's part. But it's so much going on. There's so much that the Lord is doing. And the scripture says, behold, I come quickly. All right. He says, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast. All right. So we know these individuals are completely wrong and they're not taking after Yahawashi. All right. They're not taking after his image. Verse 3, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, all right, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. Okay. And so Yahawashi didn't come speaking his own thing. He had the fear of the Lord on him. He had a quick understanding. He was very witty. All right. That's why he always had rebuttals for the wicked Pharisees and scribes and all those that came up against him. He always had a rebuttal, and it was a righteous rebuttal. All right. And it would make them scratch their heads, man. All right. We're supposed to be the same way. Okay. All right. Let me see. It says, and righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. So faithfulness was the girdle of his thoughts. All right. Reins meaning thoughts. Okay. So he didn't show no signs of unfaithfulness. That's why he always made the statement, O ye of little faith. All right. So faith was one of the main things. All right. Okay, just simple. These are simple points, man. Very simple. Isaiah 53. This points more towards his character and who he was and what he had to endure. Okay, much like us. Okay, and Salaki for the background noise. Isaiah 53 and 1. It says, "Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord Yahweh revealed?" All right. And the only people that really truly believe this report is those that are invigorated by the Spirit, those that's quickened with the Spirit, and have the Spirit is giving them opening up their understanding. All right. It says, "To whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?" Arm meaning strength. All right. And that's towards his elect, his saints. Okay. So not everybody is going to understand this. All right. Not everybody understand what the Lord is doing. Verse 2, "For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness." All right. "And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him." You see, this is how Yahawashi came up. All right. He practically came up from a rough part. All right. Bethlehem by way of Galilee. All right. Let me make sure I got that right. Nazareth. All right. He was raised in Nazareth. All right, which is in Galilee. Okay. And in the scriptures, you know, when you read the scriptures, they kind of made fun of the Galileans. All right. Okay. So much like us, you know, we grew up rough, but you know, he had, in a sense, he was sort of well off, you know, but he didn't have no puffed up, you know, attitude or character, you know. He was meek, a lowly person, which is going to go into. He is despised and rejected of men. All right. He is despised and rejected of men. Okay. And we got individuals trying to make themselves superstars, you know, and basking in their vainglory. Okay. Using the ministry and using the ministry to do so. Okay. That's a big red flag, because Yahawashi did not do so. Okay. Again, these prophecies are pointing to his character, who he was, and what he was to do. All right. Again, the scriptures say for us, what? To make our bodies a living sacrifice. It's the same thing Yahawashi did, literally. All right. And he died for the sins of the nation, man. Okay. In a sense, when we're out there, we're in the same stead. All right. Even though the 2/3 they come up against us, but who are we doing this for? We're doing this for the sake of all. Firstly, I'll say this because the scriptures say all Israel shall be saved. All right. Firstly, we're doing it for the elect. All right. The 144,000, the multitude, the 1/3, the ones that believe. Okay. That's what we're doing it for. All right. But ultimately all Israel, because of course we have to repopulate, and in those souls that die in this second death that's coming, the thermonuclear destruction. All right, they're gonna come back. They gotta come back some way. All right. So he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. All right. And if you're a part of the elect, you better damn well believe that's all you're gonna catch. Okay. I'm not saying that's all you're gonna catch, because there's a balance. Okay. All right. It says, "And acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not." You see? So nobody, you know, he was alone. He was a soldier. He was alone in his endeavors. Okay? He was despised, meaning he was basically cast out. You know? All right? He didn't have no form. It said no form, no comeliness. All right? So he didn't have, you know, a big following because, you know, he was shucking and jiving and, you know, entertaining people. You know? This ain't what this is about. Okay? So that's why I say, remember he was hated. All right. And Jake forget. They completely forget. They completely forget. This is Matthew 11. Slakia, Matthew 11 and 29. And it reads, it says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. Meaning mind. That means he wasn't puffed up, man. All right. And ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So the point here is this scripture said, learn of me. Learn of me. All right. It didn't say put on some pseudo character. It didn't say create a cult of personality. All right, because these guys are going to get in trouble, man, very soon. All right, and we're going to see the judgment. You better believe it, man. All right. What else did I have? Only had a few more. But I just wanted to point to that very simple things. Romans 8 and 29. All right. Also, Yahawashi threatened the position. All right. He threatened the position. He was a threat. That's why Herod wanted to get rid of him. That's why certain Israelites wanted to get rid of him, because he was a threat to the well-being of the society. But that doesn't matter, because he preached the tithes of the kingdom. And the kingdom matters way more than this world. And this world has absolutely nothing to offer us but corruption. Okay? So why would we advocate in any way, shape, or form, advocate for this lost ass place? Okay, this is Romans 8 and 29. All right, where we at? Romans 8. All right, 29, and it reads, all right, I'll start at 28. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to his purpose. All right. Again, we're dealing with the Lord's purpose. We're not dealing with our own thing. When we go out there on the highways and byways, we're representing Yahawashi. Okay. So we don't put on this weak ass character. We look towards Yahawashi and the character that he was. Again, he was hated. All right. He wasn't loved. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son. So we're conformed. All right. We predestinated to be conformed to his image, his ways, his likeness. Okay. Which we just read in Isaiah 53. And you can keep going, actually read the rest of that chapter, man, because it goes into the details of what his purpose was and who he was and how he was. It says he was acquainted with grief. So grief was like his friend, so to speak. All right. He had to embrace it and deal with it. All right. That's why this is a race of endurance, enduring. All right. It says that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. All right. So he became begotten because what? He went through that endeavor. All right. All right. So it's moreover whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. All right. And the glory is coming. All right. What shall we say then to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? And that's true. Nobody. All right. Nobody can be against us. So I just wanted to point these things out. The simplicity in Yahawashi. All right. Not going outside of the box. Not trying to create this character for everybody to like you. All right. Because he spoke against. All right. Let me get it with John 11 and 48. Let's see. I think this was 11 and 48. All right. This is what they said to him about him. All right. John 11 and 47, it says, then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees and council, Pharisees a council, and said, what do we, for this man doeth many miracles? All right. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So they were afraid because the Israelites, the majority of Israel, would have followed Yahawashi, and the Romans would have been like, wait a minute, and that would have stopped a lot of things happening. You know, they could have stopped paying tribute, and the Romans, these Edomites, could have been, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so these wicked ass Jakes, they're saying, hey, we can't leave them alone because these people are gonna believe in them, and we're gonna lose our place in nation. Because guess what? The Romans built the infrastructure. You see that? We didn't build that. The Romans did. You see? I believe Herod built that temple. Okay. So that it was, there was in the interest of those Romans, man. All right. And plus these Israelites, these wicked ass Israelites who was coming against Yahawashi, they were fat cats. You see, they were eating really good. All right. They had the influence of the Romans. They was high priests. They have high positions, and he was a threat to that, just like we are. You see, we're not for this place. We're against this place. And that's something to be, that's something that we need to remind ourselves of, that he was hated. All right. He wasn't loved. Okay. He's honored. He's despised by the wicked, but he's honored by the just, by the righteous. Lord willing, this made sense. Lord willing, this was edifying. And until next time, I say shalom.